Yeah, very much so. I think this is truly the end of a 40-year secular bull market. And I have said many times, I think the high water mark we reached this year is not likely to be seen again for decades, and that's in the market. So I do think we could see as much as an 80% decline in the market following that. I'm calling for a global deflationary bust that probably starts late this year and carries through all of next year. I will correct probably what used as a term. It's really not, I'm not following a trend. I'm really making a market call, but I consider it a cycle call. In other words, I'm not worried about whether it happens. If I get within a few months or even several months of the original call, it's a 40-year top. I mean, I don't try to pinpoint is it going to happen in June or July or September. I get myself in trouble because I do give, I'll say, well, coming into this year, I said, well, we could see the top by the end of the second quarter. And then, of course, now I'm stretching it out saying 3 to 6 months, so it carries you through the third quarter. And that drives people crazy. They go, you just keep moving it. That's like anybody can be right if you just keep moving the target date. And I go, no, it's not really about a date. It's the end of the cycle. And, these are big cycles that go on for more than a decade. I'm not too concerned about trying to call it down to the week or month or even quarter. So I do, when I put out a day, as I tell people, it's kind of this, if everything fell into place is the earliest, I think you'll see it. And then it just stretches out. Cycles tend to stretch out. Obviously, in this case, Ukraine had an impact and did probably stretch out the cycle a bit. And so that has some impact. But I'm guilty. I'm a longtime value manager. My first half of my career was as a institutional money manager, longtime value manager. And I would say my MO is that I'm always going to be early. I'm a contrarian. So I'm not really trying to, that's why I take issue with the term trend, because most people are trend followers. I'm really quite the opposite. I'm picking things at inflection points and then trying to figure out when. So I don't know if that explains it well, but it's certainly, I think that you're right. There are a lot of people on Twitter that they want precise timing, and I go, that's not me. I'm giving you a cycle call, not a trading call. First of all, I would not say that every bull market ends in a euphoric parabolic. They do end with more bulls, with mostly bullish. But I think this is going to be very unusual in terms of the degree to which we see a parabolic. So, and I think it's because it has been an extra long cycle. 40 years for a bull market cycle is big. We started this thing in 1982 with single-digit PE multiples, with interest rates at 15%. It's ending with rates obviously moving up right now, but got down to close to zero. PE multiples got up. The market multiple got up to mid-20s. So it's a huge 40-year period. And I think because of that, and because of other things such as the pandemic, we've got, and the amount of money that's been created, we've got a condition that's very unusual historically. I really don't think we've seen anything like this since 1929. So we are coming to the end of something quite unusual. I don't, by the way, because I repeat these forecasts for a long time, they look like I may kind of just pull them out of the air and that I take them rather cavalierly. I don't. I am as skeptical as anybody can be about what's coming. But keep in mind, a contrarian is driven very much by sentiment. I'm gonna, think about what we just saw on the AAII poll. That we had more bears there than we've seen through bear markets going way back, even to 2008-9. And so if you have that many bears after a doubling in the equity markets in the last 2 years, that's a very telling statement. We have discounted an awful lot in this market. People act like whatever is in the market today is, equilibrium, and so then you look at the news today and discount from there. We've discounted an awful lot of the bad news. We've been hearing about bad news since last summer. And by the way, interest rates have gone, the 2 years gone from 0.25% last September to 260 The 5 year has gone from 0.75% up to almost 290. So I mean, we've had a tremendous amount of tightening, and people are acting like the tightening cycle is just beginning. What I keep saying is the tightening cycle is coming to an end. Imagine what doubling the mortgage rate from 2.5 to 5.25 or 5.5 is going to do to affordability for one thing, but just activity in the housing market. It's you have to give it time. It doesn't all happen immediately, but I think it's slowing the housing market.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Marco Stan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Marco Stan.